Hello everyone, my name is Scott Aubrey. I am the owner of Aubrey Law. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Aubrey Law is an estate planning and probate law firm, and today's topic is what is probate, and is it something that you should try to avoid? But before we get started, if you have any questions about today's topic or any questions about estate planning or probate, you can go to aubreylegal.com and schedule a time to talk with me for free. Again, that website is aubreylegal.com. You can go there. You're able to see my schedule. You're able to choose a time that's convenient for you to talk, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have regarding estate planning or probate. So today's topic is what is probate? I'm sure everybody's heard of the word probate, and usually what follows after the word probate is avoid. But many people haven't gone through the probate process and don't truly understand what it entails, even though they've heard the word before. So what is probate? Probate is a legal word for the court process of handling the assets and obligations of a person when they pass away. Assets in the person's individual name, without having some sort of beneficiary designation or transferring to someone else by matter of contract upon their death, have to go through probate transfer to the beneficiary. So basically, you have to somehow transfer the assets from in the name of the deceased to the person who they are ultimately going to the beneficiary. And how you do that is through the probate process. So what is probate? What does it entail? Probate can be formal, which means that there's a lot of court oversight, or it can be informal, which means there's little or no oversight by the court. The process for both formal and informal start the same way, by someone opening up an application for the administration of the estate. And informal probate is usually preferred over formal because of the less court oversight, but sometimes depending on the situation of the decedent, a formal process may be required, especially if there's some sort of dispute or contesting of the will. Then the court is going to want to get involved and oversee the process to make sure that the decedent's last wishes are carried through. So once the application is filed with the probate court, then a personal representative is appointed. If the person had a will, then they name the personal representative in that will, and if the first person they chose is available to fulfill that obligation, then they are appointed. And if that person is not available, then if they name a successor personal representative, then that person will serve depending on the situation there. And then that kind of starts the process. And then what do they have to do? They have to go through a series of tasks to settle the estate. Publishing notices, informing creditors, filing an inventory of all the assets, compiling and liquidating the assets, paying last expenses, outstanding bills and administrative costs, and all these different things. So they have to really go through and make sure that the bills are paid and the assets are distributed. Those are the main tasks, but there's a series of things they need to do to accomplish those goals. So after that, all that work is complete, all the accounting of the assets are done, and then the personal representative can then now distribute those assets to the beneficiaries according to the will. Or if there's no will, according to the intestate laws of your particular state, or where the state where the person died. So that's kind of it. I mean, as you can see, I just kind of went over quickly, simplified version of what happens during the probate process. But a typical probate can last, about a year. And a contested probate can take, many years. People can fight over an estate for many years and nothing ever really gets settled, and there's costs associated with probate, court costs, attorney's fees, accountants, on top of the ordinary cost of administrating that estate. And finally, probate is a public process. That means creditors or other people can come forward and stake a claim to the estate. That can really slow down the probate process because you have to prove that they don't have a claim, and that just can create more time and more trouble for the people trying to settle that estate. So that's kind of the overall process. Now, it may seem easy as I said, but as you can see, it can get difficult depending on on the assets involved or what happens during that process. So it's one of those things, is it something that you want to avoid? And that's really a question that you should decide during your lifetime if you want to make it easier for your loved ones to settle your estate. And by doing so, you create a estate plan. And that can entail many different things. It can entail creating a trust, which will then avoid probate, because those assets held by that trust will not be held by you individually, and you can control where they go. Those assets held in trust do not have to go through the probate process. But that's something that you need to decide. And if you do have a loved one that has recently passed and they're going through the probate process, you can go see an estate planning attorney or a probate attorney to help you, guide you through that process, to help that make this difficult process much easier. So once again, probate, I kind of gave you the overview. It's a process where the court oversees the administration of a person's estate who recently passed away. And it can be something that can be very difficult, so it may want to be avoided, and that can be done through estate planning during your lifetime. So that's all I have for you today. Once again, my name is Scott Aubrey. I'm the owner of Aubrey Law. If you want to talk to me about estate planning or probate, you can go to aubreylegal.com and schedule a time to talk with me for free. Again, that website is aubreylegal.com. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and I will talk to you soon.